Pisces, one of your ruling dignitaries is in the hot spot this week, so let's dig in. Pisces, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. This is going to cover the major planetary transits and aspects as they relate to your natal sun. So, how do you know where your natal sun is? Through your natal chart, and you can get those for free. And this is not an advertisement. You just go to any search engine and search free natal chart and it will pop up. And what you need is your birth date, your birth time, and your birthplace, the location of where you were born. All of this can be found on your birth certificate. It'll run the report in like a couple of seconds, and then you'll have all your information, and you'll find that your natal sun is sitting on one of the 30 degrees that make up the astrology sign of Pisces, or the zodiac sign of Pisces. So if your natal sun is sitting somewhere between 0 and 9 degrees Pisces, you are in the first decan or group of 10 degrees of Pisces. So you are Pisces 1. If your natal sun is sitting somewhere between 10 and 19 degrees of Pisces, then your natal sun is in decan 2 or Pisces 2. And finally, if your natal sun is somewhere between 20 and 29 degrees Pisces, your natal sun falls in the third decan of Pisces or Pisces 3. We're going to start really broad about the transits or things that are going on that are impacting everyone, and then we're going to talk about how they're impacting you, and then we're going to dig in specifically to how they are impacting your specific natal suns. And I encourage you to watch all of them, especially if you're sort of on the cusp or near the edge of one decan into another, because you will pick up energies from both of them. So stick around. This week we have two major conjunctions that are happening and are going to impact everything. And I feel it's important to actually start with the transit that just happened yesterday. By the way, this is for the week of April 12th through the 18th of 2023. So unlike my tarot card readings, which are intuitive and timeless, this reading is for those specific dates. This is when the energy is happening. And you're going to see that I'm going to get into some real specifics later. I'm going to dig down. So, this is from April 12th to April 18th, 2023. Yesterday, on April 11th, Venus moved from Taurus, where she is at home and cozy comfy, into Gemini. It's not that she's not cozy comfy in Gemini, it's that she's very different in Gemini. And so the focus on love right now is friendships. Focus on the friendship when it comes to your relationship. Focus on learning and nurturing when it comes to your money, or nurturing through learning and discovering how to be better with money. This is a great time to do those things, to learn and to grow and show appreciation and accumulate value through education, and also talking and speaking and conversations. This is really important when Venus is in Gemini. Eloquence of speech is exceptional and will really stand out and make you a high ticket value, a high value item on everybody's list right now while Venus is in Gemini. So that happened yesterday, April 11th. So April 12th, if you're watching this video on April 12th, what is happening between this time, between the 12th and the 18th? Two major conjunctions. One, Jupiter conjunct the Sun, which is happening all week. It's already occurring. They're both in Aries. They're both in the third decan of Aries, which absolutely impacts one group of you more than the others. There is this sense about you, and it's not the one you expect, actually. There is this mentality to the Sun conjunct Jupiter of big-headedness. Not necessarily pride, but overconfidence, confidence that doesn't necessarily match up, or it's not necessarily proportional to competence. However, confidence is really high, and the ability to expand and grow your sense of who you are, make room and develop and be open to new things about who you are or what you're capable of. All of those things can absolutely be very positives while the sun is conjunct Jupiter, but it can also mean, depending on what aspect your natal sun is, it could also mean big-headedness or having to deal with people who have big heads, people who really do expect, it's not a lie, they're not lying, it's not manipulation, they really do think that they're worth more than they really are. That can happen, and we'll see how that's aspecting your natal suns. We also have a second, more peculiar and kind of, to be honest with you, a little bit more interesting conjunction, Mercury conjunct Uranus. Now, Mercury conjunct Uranus happens, I think, on the 13th or 14th, and then it goes through the rest of the week. What does that do? Well, Mercury is the lower expression of Uranus. So lower expression as in more earthly, more pragmatic, real world, day-to-day kind of intellect, whereas Uranus is exceptional intellect. It is genius intellect. It is the intellect that allows us to think outside of the box, that doesn't go by the rules, that actually defies the rules, rearranges the rules, and rewrites the rules. So this would be like, a Nobel Prize in astrophysics or something like that. That it would be like the theory of everything being proven. It would be Einstein level stuff. And really that is how Uranus got discovered anyway. It was through mathematics. Nobody actually saw it through a telescope. They used mathematics to prove what was happening and what was going on. So this is about higher intellect meets lower intellect. Real breakthrough discoveries can come through and be articulated to the masses when this happens, because Uranus and Mercury it's almost like Mercury can act as a conduit and delivery system for these complicated understandings, these complicated thought processes, or this complicated intellect, right? This complex intellect now can find real world applications, or at least be communicated in a way. So we might get news about something that's quite extraordinary. You could definitely count on, depending on how this aspects your natal suns, broader mindset, really expansive mindset, and being interested in things that are outside the box and weirder, or your mind almost rebelling against you and becoming distracted, but not in terms of illusion or daydreaming, being distracted by the possibility of proving something else or thinking of things in a different way. So this is like your own mind might surprise you throughout most of this week. And that's why I like it, and I think it's such an intriguing energy. So Pisces, let's get into the decans and see how this is all impacting you. First of all, in the zodiac sign of Pisces, we have two planets. We have Saturn and Neptune, and God, you could not get two different energies, man. They are basically complete opposites. Saturn is about the rules, laws, regulations for the 3D world. Saturn is the boundaries of the 3D world. Neptune, not so much. Neptune is completely and totally dreams, illusions, and faith. It's got nothing to do with can be proven or counted or quantified. And so they're also hitting and sitting at two extreme ends of Pisces. Pisces, in the beginning of Pisces, is Pisces 1, Saturn. Saturn is conjunct your natal suns. Pisces 3, at the very end of Pisces, Neptune is conjunct your natal sun. So this is why I tell you, just because you're a Pisces does not mean that you're behaving like each other, or that the same thing is happening to you, because very different things are happening to you guys. Saturn conjuncting a sun is making you more serious, more mature, more grounded, more committed, and actually making actual pragmatic plans and commitments for the future. Whereas if your natal sun is conjunct to Neptune, forget about it. It's all about creativity and faith, maybe discovering your sense of spirituality, your sense of religion, or just your connectivity to the divine, not needing proof, using your intuition and being okay with that, psychically understanding it without really being able to quantify it, as well as creativity. Neptune conjunct the sun is beautiful creative energy for composing music, or or composing anything really. This kind of inspiration will come out of nowhere. This is the kind of stuff that's never been done before. This isn't just a recycled sequel or the next version of something. Oh no, this is the stuff that comes out of nowhere and just divine inspiration. So you could not be in two more separate places with what's conjuncting your natal suns. Pisces 1, not only is Saturn conjuncting your natal suns, but your natal suns as well as Saturn is going to be trine to Mars until tomorrow. And then that will end because Mars continues to move further into Cancer, and it's moving too fast. It's not going to really be trine to Pisces 1 anymore. It'll actually start trining Pisces 2 as of Thursday. We have something that will stay through July is a trine to the south node and a sextile to the north node. This is about you being comfortable with your own sense of self, with what you can do, what you can bring to the table, and feeling really, really so comfortable with what you are and what your natural gifts and abilities are that you're learning how to apply them or commit them to the future and even situations, finding opportunities that maybe not ever something that you've done before, but being able to open and expand and find opportunities because of what you're already good at. So that's good stuff. And then we have a square to Venus. So square to Venus is only going to last now. The trine to the the trine to the south node and sextile to the north node is going to last quite some time. It's going to last through July. So that is a long-term aspect. But the square to Venus, thankfully, is not. It is just going to happen this week. How does that impact you? When the natal sun is square to Venus, there is challenges or complications with your value systems. Maybe even in some ways feeling valuable or feeling like you look good or like my hair can never be right. It's like a whole week of bad hair days or a whole week of not feeling really valuable or really seen or being turned on by anything or having conflicts within your current relationship, maybe because of low self-esteem or not feeling really seen or valued or financial difficulties. Now, they won't be anything that you can't overcome, but they will challenge you. So it may mean you can't spend as much, you don't have as much money in the bank as you thought you did. All of those kind of things can come up this week because your natal suns will be square to Venus. Don't worry, it will pass by next week. Also, I should tell, we will go into detail next week's forecast, but I will tell you on the 21st, which is really only 3 days after this week ends, the 21st is when Mercury goes into retrograde. I'm telling you this now because I guarantee we're already feeling it. And we're especially going to feel it when Mercury is amplified by being conjunct Uranus. A lot of surprising things can come up from the past. Just an FYI, something you should realize, it is not going to directly impact you guys, but it will impact you because you are on the planet. Who is it going to directly impact? Pisces 2. So Pisces 2, your natal suns are going to be trine it to Mars most of this week because Mars is moving deeper into Cancer. So that's actually a really productive energy, high energy, having more energy than you normally do, having more fluency in your body, feeling better about your body. Use it, feel active, allow yourself to be activated. But you guys are sextile. Your natal suns are the ones that are sextile to the Mercury conjunct Uranus. So that means that this strange pre-Mercury retrograde, shadow period Mercury retrograde is actually more intense than Mercury retrograde itself. So a lot of stuff and a lot of weird is coming back up. A lot of weird thoughts, a lot of weird information, and in ways that you can use it, in ways that you never thought you could use it or that it was never used before. It's going to provide you with, it's sextile to your natal suns. So the sextile means there's opportunities that are coming up for you this week because of that conjunction. And I love it. And then you got no squares or anything else like that, so you're good. So expect this to be kind of a surprising week with the thoughts and information that pop up, and expect them to really open up some tremendous opportunities for you. Pisces 3. Your natal sun's long-term aspect are sextile to Pluto, especially those of you who are at the very, very extreme end of Pisces. What does this mean? Well, sextile to Pluto is really good to be because it's an energy that we talk about this every week. I don't think I really have to. You're going to like the change. You're going to look forward to the change that is happening. There's going to be opportunities that are opening up because of things that are changing dynamically around you. It is going to serve you and provide opportunities for you. So, but this is what I want to say, and this is why we get real specific. On Thursday, so tomorrow, April 13th, the moon is going to conjunct Pluto. And since Pluto is sextile, this is what it's going, sextile to your natal sun. This is how it's going to end. That moon, the moon comes along and makes everything hit home, makes everything personal. So expect that tomorrow. This is a chance to get your emotions out. So it's providing you with opportunity to purge some extreme emotions or extreme sentiments that you've been keeping close or holding inside. Now, that may not seem like much of an opportunity, but it is something that you absolutely need that will provide you maybe further opportunities. In fact, if you have some sort of emotional explosion, not that you should be doing it intentionally, but if you do, it could actually not backfire, but instead knock down a wall that you didn't expect. So you're going to have to trust it. It will sort of overcome you, but some unexpected opportunities will come from those emotional expressions. Your natal suns are quincunx to the south node, semi-square to the north node. That means just having trouble moving forward in your life, kind of because of stubbornness, maybe your own stubbornness or somebody else's stubbornness, feeling frustrated because you don't feel like you've accomplished all that you want to accomplish in the past. And because you don't feel like successful with your past, or really comfortable with your past or your talents or your skills, you don't really feel comfortable with allowing yourself to move forward. So if you can rectify that frustration, you can actually help yourself to move forward more smoothly. And then we have, challenges coming from your past moving toward the future. That's sort of what I wrote down. So you guys let me know how all of this energy is impacting you. And please do stop by Born Without Boundaries Tarot to check out your week ahead tarot card reading. We have Born Without Boundaries Pisces Tarot. So a whole channel dedicated just to you, just for you. So I hope you'll pop on by. Please subscribe here. If you're subscribed, you can join our live astrology chit chats that we have over here sometimes. And then you can also just enjoy the channel deeper because you'll get notified of when your favorite content is uploaded. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.